Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Mishpocha. Welcome to another edition of the Brit Chadasha Connections. I'm your host, Rabbi Yehuda Ben Shomer, and today we're going to be talking about the parasha number 13 called Shmot, which means names, and we're going to be reading the Brit Chadasha portions of Hebrews and James. But let me first start out by reading Shmot, Exodus chapter 2, verses 11 through 15. And it came to pass in those days, when Moshe was grown, that he went out unto his brethren, and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way, and he looked that. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian, and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to them, and he said to him that did the wrong, Wherefore smitest thou fellow? And he said, Who made thee prince and judge over thus? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killedst the Egyptian? And Moshe feared. He said, Surely this thing is known. Now when Pharaoh hears this thing, he sought to slay Moshe. Now Moshe fled from the face of Pharaoh, Paro in Hebrew, and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now, fast forward, jump to Hebrews chapter 11, verses 23 through 27. By faith, Joseph, when he died, made mention of departing of the children of Israel, and he gave a commandment concerning his bones. By faith, Moshe, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's command. By faith, Moshe, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Messiah greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. But by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Now, Yaakov, James, chapter 3, verses 3 through 6, it says, Behold, when we put bits in the horse's mouth, that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body, behold also ships, which though they be so great, are driven of fierce winds, yet they are turned about with a very small helm. Whosoever wheresoever the governor listeth, even so the tongue. The tongue is a little member, unless you're Gene Simmons, and boasteth great things. Behold how great a matter a little fire kindleth. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature. And it is set on fire, of hell. Now, our tongue, if not held in check, will reveal our knee-jerk reaction. Now let me say that again. Our tongue, if not held in check, will reveal our knee-jerk reaction. Instantaneous, zealous feelings that churn and bubble when we get offended in some way. Didn't Messiah say that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks? Matthew 12:34. So, how many of us watch the nightly news, see horrible atrocities, horrible injustices on the news? For instance, terrorism. And have you ever caught yourself or heard somebody saying, why don't we just round up all them towheads and put them on an island and blow them up? That's a knee-jerk reaction. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. On the outside, somebody says, are you prejudiced? Do you hate people that are Muslim or terrorists? You may say, oh, no, I'm not prejudiced. I don't hate them. I hate what they do, but I don't hate them. But yet, when you watch a news report or witness an act of terrorism, all of a sudden, that comes out. We should just kill them all and let God sort them out. Now, most of us, we really don't mean this, intend this, or even really desire it to happen if we're really honest with ourselves. Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 8 says, To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, A time to keep silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. I feel like the Eagles song coming on. Ready? To everything turn, turn, turn. Okay, I won't make your eardrums bleed anymore. I'm sorry. I regress. So let me just end this Brit Chadasha connection by saying this. Let us hate injustice, but love the doer of injustice. For they, being the persecutor, is just as much a victim. Thanks for watching. Shalom and Shavua Tov.